I won't be able to join.
Good morning, everybody.
That's okay. Hello, Mr. Bagby.
We got two people coming in. Wyatt.
It's hot
Wyatt
under
loves
here.
cats, by the way. He's letting us know.
It's hot under here.
It's Minecraft cows.
Okay, we know that's Minecraft cows.
Okay, here we go. Big announcement. Tomorrow, I will be going back into Ridgecrest Elementary, into my classroom, and Mrs. DIRKS will be going back into Ridgecrest. And what we're going to be doing is closing down our classrooms like we always do at the end of the year. But we'll also be collecting your materials that you left behind before spring break. And next week, I don't know if you've gotten the email yet, but next week, you have a time for you to run by the school and pick up your stuff that you left there. So no Zoom meeting tomorrow. I will record a little Zoom explanation of today or tomorrow's daily assignment, but there will be no Zoom tomorrow because I will be at school closing down the classroom. And this is there also. So none tomorrow. Let's start this share. Boom, boom. Get that going. You should be able to see the Bagby assignment right now. I'm going to scoot you over there a little bit. All right, we're going to let Arjun in here. If you can do the iStation, that would be great. If you're having all kinds of trouble, just let me know, and I'll let the people at school that are in charge of that to know that you can't get in there. This is today's chapter 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. We will be finishing up this story this week, and I'm particularly proud of my snake voice today, so hopefully you will listen to the story, you'll read along with it and answer these questions. But I love the snake character. The snake character, I think, is one of my favorites so far. So pay attention to what he says and what he means when he says he can take you somewhere where you've never been. In other words, he can kill you. So I love the snake. Now listen to his voice, the snake, and enjoy answering these questions. Marie Curry, raise your hand if you've already listened to the story. Oh, good. A couple people. Marie Curry, a woman of science. This is another video on her, very important person in the history of discovering a couple of elements, and of course the big topic of X-rays and how we use X-rays. We have the same words, of course, the same 75 words, and you'll be using those words today in your next step is subject-verb agreement. We're going to be moving on to another topic tomorrow. You've got another video on subject-verb agreement, it's short, and then a little practice quiz. How many did you get right out of 15? And then try to use these words up here in your subject-verb agreements. In other words, if you have a subject, a plural subject, use a plural verb. If you use a singular subject, use a singular verb. I kept these up there for you to review, little infographics. Hopefully you're still reading 20 minutes a day, your fiction and nonfiction. I also kept up the 6 traits of great writing. Going a little faster today because a lot of it's review. We are wrapping up the school year, so not a whole lot of new stuff. We're just trying to get you finished with your 3 pieces of writing so you can review these traits and cups. And we had a effective writing, and then I had a little brief description here. We went over the steps to do a good narrative. We went over the steps to do an effective persuasion. And today we're going to look at informational writing. There's also a types of writing with Tim and Moby on Brain Pop right there. So log into Clever and you can watch that. It doesn't go into a lot of depth, but it's a fun little video. It's just around 4 minutes long. And it explains the different types of writing. Oops, I scooted down too far. Here we go, informational writing. Now, please remember, I'm not loading on these huge writing assignments. You have your narrative, which you've been working on over a week, and I'd love to hear some more narratives today. Let's see, who was it in my homeroom? Rohan wrote a narrative story about a character that was a plastic water bottle and how he got abducted and kidnapped by a thief at Publix. It's really a lot of fun. I want to hear your narratives. We want to review them. It's A lot of fun to hear what you guys come up with in your creative brains.
Hey, I got all of them right.
The informational writing, think of something you know a lot about. In fact, I've said that from the beginning of the year, the beginning of the school year. Write what you know. If you want to focus on your writing ability, you pick something that you know about. And that way you can focus on the sentence structures and the paragraphs and make sure it makes sense. You're not researching this. You are sharing something that you know a lot about. It might be a person, a place, a thing, or idea. It may be an activity. It could be types of thinking. Brainstorm about this something and decide how you're going to write about it. Now, do I know how you're going to write about it? No, because it all depends on what you're describing. If you're trying to show in a paragraph how to correctly throw a Frisbee, you're going to do a how to do it. If you're going to show how the gears work on a bicycle through your words, you're going to do a how it works. If you're trying to show the difference between ancient Greek architecture, you're going to show what it is that makes it different. So whatever you decide will determine whether you do a what it is, how it works, or how to do it. You don't do all three. You just choose one depending upon what you're using for your informational writing, also known as expository or explanatory. Explanatory has that root word of explain. Expository has that root word of expose. You're exposing something as to how it works or what it is or how to do it. 5 sisters in a room. You can't play chess for yourself, so the other person is playing chess with Kate. Here, the intersecting lines equaled 9, 1, and 4. And none of those devices would help you get the water out of the tub. So it was a comic riddle. How many of you said pull out the plug or pull out the stop?
Me. I was thinking about it, but then I was like, wait, if the faucet is off,
I said pull out the drain.
and some
Pull out the drain
bathtubs
plug,
take
pull out the stop.
longer.
Any of those work. There are 4 days that start with the letter T. 2 of them are Tuesday and Thursday. What are the other 2? And then this should be A. I made a mistake there. I should be A.
Again.
A man rode out of the town on his horse Sunday. He stayed in the wilderness for 2 days and rode back to town on Sunday. How is this possible? So
I know that.
don't shout out the answer.
Don't worry, I
give it
won't.
away. On history overview, it might not seem like a big deal, but part of ancient India's forever appeal to modern life and the development of all of mathematics, which has led to all the technology around you. I don't know if you realize this, but it's not just scientific discovery that has allowed us to have what we have, including me looking into this camera right now. A lot of it falls squarely on the shoulders of the field of mathematics. And the concept of zero was essential to this. It might not seem essential. It's zero, it's nothing. How could it be anything? Well, it is something. It really makes a big difference and actually led to negative numbers, positive numbers, and using that zero as a placeholder and using it as a in place value. But there's even more to it than that. So there's a little video on the power of zero and why it was so important. And the ancient Indians, the Indus River Valley people discovered this concept, which led to all kinds of complex math that were then developed in the Middle East, especially algebra. Choose a place on earth. I hope you're doing that in 3 to 5 minutes on Zoom, because once we're done this week, tomorrow we're going to start, hopefully, if anybody's ready, Thursday or Friday, you can jump right into it and share your docent project with us, your tour guide project. And Maceo presented a little tiny bit of his just to see how it looked. And our compliment to him was, you know, Maceo Brown, he sounded like a tour guide. And now I'm going to show you. He spoke, the wording and the writing was like he was the tour guide. So make it sound like you're actually conducting a tour and we're traveling with you. You're not writing an essay. You're not writing a paper about it. You're just presenting pictures or videos, and then you are talking to us about it as a tour guide. A little video on 5 of the nicest Florida springs. It's really cool. This says nonsense because that's the name of the quiz, but it's really a riddle quiz. And here's one. Do you ever sit back and think about your whole life to the present moment? I used to have a habit of, even at your age, I'd go back to, what do I remember first? What's the first memory? What was kindergarten like? We didn't have preschool then. What was first grade like? What was second grade like? And I'd go back and think of the friends I had, the teachers I had, the things that I did, the sports I was involved with, which was mainly baseball and football. But what's your
You
earliest?
guys want to know my earliest
What do
memory?
you remember?
You guys want to know my earliest memory?
Earliest memory when I was 3, and I wanted to go somewhere and I wasn't allowed to go there.
I was probably like one or two, and like I made like a little doo-doo in my diaper. But I remember like walking into my room and like looking around the side to see a whole shelf of just diapers and diapers and diapers.
Hey, the thing is with the memory, it doesn't even have to be important at all. It's just something you remember. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's the oddest thing.
I
Now,
remember it was.
Damien, I'm going to continue here. This myth, you know the thing about myths, they never go away. It doesn't matter. It could be, you'll be my age and people will be still saying, you know, you only use 10% of your brain. That has been a myth from the beginning. It's a total myth. You use all your brain all the time, unless part of it's damaged in some way. So kind of like the myth of if you swallow a piece of gum, it's going to take 7 years. You know it's going to take 7 years to digest it. No, the stomach juices in your belly dissolve just about anything. So myths, they never go away. So we actually use all of it. We're even using more than 10% when we're asleep. And the fastest that information runs between your neurons is 250 miles per hour, not the speed of light. That's another myth. A lot of people think because we're electrically connected with our synapses and our central nervous system, it doesn't really run the speed of light, not even close. The fastest is 250 miles per hour. That's why there's always a slight delay. For example, you put your finger on a hot stove. You think you immediately pull it away, but that's why you get burned, because you don't. It takes a little bit of time for that process to hit your brain and say, whoops. So and then it also teaches you not to touch hot stoves again. So 250 miles per hour is how fast your thoughts travel inside of your body. And, you know, when I was in 3rd grade and all the way up until finishing school, the scientific idea was that everything was happening up here. We now know that's not entirely true. There's like little bits of your brain connected to your actual brain here, all through your body, that can make decisions all by itself. There's little neurons and little parts of your body that can self-determine what they're supposed to do. The brain is in charge of most everything, but your body has many different functions in it that actually operate independently from your brain, which I find really fascinating. So we're going to stop the share now, and we're going to ask you if you have any questions or who would like to share.
Oh, Mr. Bagby,
Yes?
can I share my tour guide this week?
You can share it Thursday when we open it up.
Okay.
Okay? If you're done with it, yeah.
Can I share some of my tour guide?
Well, we're going to start it on Thursday. I want to hear more of the narratives.
Mr. Bagby, I have
This
narrative.
homeroom has been very, very hesitant to share your
Here's the
narrative.
thing. I'll
I
give you a
have
hint of what mine is.
I already shared mine.
I love this place, and there's a ton of beaches and amusement parks there.
Okay, I just opened it up for you to share. So whoever wants to share a narrative, go ahead and put it up on the screen.
Okay, 1 second. I need to find it.
I already shared my narrative.
Wait, I don't think I should share this because I've already shared it.
Yeah, Max, you shared a lot yesterday. Let's give somebody else a chance.
I'm
Davey,
getting it opened.
share or not?
I'm getting it. What the? No, where is it? Hold on. I need to go back into the assignments. I had it, but then I lost it. Someone else can share.
Who has a narrative to share?
I already shared mine.
I know you did, and I thank you for
I
that.
shared mine.
I thank you too, Lena, but lots of people have not shared anything.
I don't remember Lena's.
Anderson didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, I don't.
How about Swati or
No.
Arjun or Fabian or Peyton or Chloe or Max? Oh, Max, we already heard yours. Ryan or Viga or Wyatt. You have something to share that we can give you some feedback specifically on your narrative.
I have a
Mr. Bagby.
Okay, I got it. Mr. Bagby, I got it.
Mr. Bagby. I have a persuasive.
Okay, Upton. As soon as Damien's finished. You ready, Damien? Go ahead.
The worst day ever. John McKay was a 12-year-old boy with a bad attitude on bad days. One morning, John woke up and was late for the bus, so he had to walk all the way to school because his mom was at work. So, John was late for school and he got detention for being 1 hour late after school started. While he was putting things in his locker before third period, Bill Ruffle pushed John down on the floor and stole John's homework. After third period, when John learned he got more 5 hours of it. Hold on. He got 5 more hours of detention. John started kicking things and even beat up Bill Ruffle and then left the school to then be grounded at home. The next day, John was woken up by his mom an hour or so before she had to go to work. And the next day, she said, "I want you to be on your best behavior today and say sorry to your teachers and Bill Ruffle, even though he hurt you. It's not okay for you to sprain his leg and give him a bloody nose."
Ooh.
"Okay, Mom," John said.
I wouldn't do anything nice to him.
Alexa.
A good day
state the
yesterday.
weather.
We all have some bad days, and you still have detention for 6 hours. Mom said. Later that day, John said sorry to Bill and his teachers and his teachers and his teachers.
Series on.
And the teachers found out that Bill took John's homework, so John got 1 hour of detention, 5 hours of detention.
I have no idea where you are or how you got here. As you begin to look around, you are overcome by.
All right. Thank you, Damien. That was quite a tale. I don't think you're done yet. I think when you read it out loud, you heard your mistakes, didn't you?
Yeah, I saw a mistake that I did, he got more 5 hours of detention. I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
Right.
It made sense at first, but then I'm like, oh wait, no, it doesn't.
Whoa.
Okay,
55 hours in detention? Yay,
Upton,
no.
go ahead and share your.
Well, Word isn't loading because
What was that, Upton?
Word isn't loading. It's taking forever.
No.
I'm
Who
trying.
else would like to share while Upton's trying to get it going? Viga, have you shared anything?
Fixed all the mistakes on mine.
Okay, that's good. Upton, what's your persuasion about?
I forget. The lag. What's taking so long to load?
Yes. If you are stuck, try out our new hints feature by saying I want a hint.
Alexa, stop.
Chloe, do you have anything to share?
I have my
Alex,
my
Damien,
geography.
stop eating your
What is Danny
flashlight.
doing?
Eating
Go
his
ahead, Chloe.
Just a
flashlight.
little preview, yeah.
Go ahead, Chloe.
Just snacking.
Yeah, got
Okay, hold on, let me set it up. It takes really long to load. I don't know why.
By the way, I almost got it open. Oh, Damien, you're blinding me.
I heard of a girl that got a harmonica stuck in her mouth once.
Oh gosh.
I don't know how that happened.
How did you get a harmonica stuck in your mouth?
Yeah, it was like this, and she was like,
Hey.
That's like impressive.
Well, you could get that out easily.
Upton
like,
or Chloe, are you anywhere near sharing yet?
cut her cheek.
Well,
open.
yeah, it's just I'm just trying to set it up.
I was a millisecond away, and then we're
Alexa, Simon says hi.
Alexa, stop.
Chloe?
Yeah, I'm
Yay!
sorry it kind of takes long.
Well, we're running out of time here.
Slow today. Okay, just remember that it's not all done. It's just a preview.
Babu.
Okay.
All right, it's done. It's
All
done
right.
learning. Want me to screen share? Sorry, I'm just having lots of issues. I don't know if it's working.
Well, you have to click on share screen.
Yeah, I'm trying. It's not working.
Hey, Fabian, do you have anything to share? No?
Something.
Arjun?
I can share my first part. Oh. What? My mouse just got really big.
No.
My mouse is enormous.
Okay, it looks like Chloe has started screen sharing. We're waiting for something to come up. There
Right,
it is.
so there's my thing, yeah. So this Roblox.
Okay, is this part of your,
Yes, this is my project. So London is just right there.
so we're actually visiting London?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so there you got the London Eye there. So I did, so first I want to show you my Hamleys. Of course, I'm not done with like anything here. That's going to be Hogwarts, that roller coaster ahead, because it's actually Theme Park Tycoon too. So this is a Paddington Bear section. I just finished it, and the thing is, like, you can't stock up because I don't have the abilities for that. But it's just a really nice replica. And then there's the Big Ben. Oh gosh. It's just not working.
Well, we get the idea. It looks really cool. That's a very clever idea that you used to give us a tour of London.
Yeah, also hold on. Also, I couldn't build a tower bridge because it was too big for my place, because like the Thames River I made, it was just like too small because it was too big to make the other stuff right there. Because I'm gonna try and get the White Tower done. So of course that's not there yet.
Chloe, what's it called?
Dragon's Kingdom. It's at the very top.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I want to go
Yeah.
at Roblox.
Wait, Max, you play Roblox?
I do too.
I
Let me just give you like a tour of the interior.
I do sometimes.
Oh my gosh, I just want to download iMovie for Windows and make a preview.
Yeah, well, I bet you don't play mine. I bet you don't.
Also, here's like the
Oh,
grand hall. I only read the books, not watched the movies. Don't judge me.
Probably a
Here's the
All
grand
right, thank you very much, Chloe. That looked really cool. Looking forward to your final presentation. Make sure you have some
Can I
things
do
to
some?
say
Can I do
about the
some?
different objects that you are creating, okay?
Can I do some mine?
Who's that?
Me.
Wait, I want to share something. I need to.
Okay, whoever said they just wanted to share, go ahead and unmute yourself and share. We're running out of time.
I only have part of mine, but I can share it.
Go.
It's not gonna be able to share, but I can tell. So there's a boy in my story that lives in a very small village with at least 50 people only. He's very poor, and he loves dance. So most of their money goes to the dedication of dancing for her son. So basically, he goes to dance one day and he trips over a book, and that's about as far as I got.
Wow. What's going to happen when he trips over the book?
I don't know. I'm still coming up with that part. I've been
I
reading.
have a thing. It's actually cool. So,
It's a magical book.
What
so
you got, Lena?
I'm giving you a
Thinking
little
about it. I'm thinking about it.
preview of my thing.
Go ahead.
1 second. Let me pull it up.
What's wrong with this stupid computer? It's
I
mental.
got a slow computer too, so.
Okay, so let me share it. This, if you know what it is,
Okay, yes.
that's a little
Thing.
sign of where I'm
The
going to
gator
be.
sign.
So you're going to be taking us,
Hey, who did that?
you're going to take us up to Gainesville?
Well, not really. It's Florida because that's kind of the only place it's my favorite.
Right. So
Orlando? In Florida?
so basically you're going to give us a tour of USF?
No, Florida.
Oh, all of Florida? That's too big, Lena.
How is that too big?
It's too big. There's too many things in Florida. You have to be more specific.
I'm just doing like signs of it, like the wildlife.
Well, if you're going to give us if we're going to have a tour guide, it's got to be someplace like where we're actually there with you, walking around with you. Not just hopping around all over the state magically. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So just be a little more specific as to where you want to take us. I just assumed it would be USF because that's the mascot of University of, not USF, UF, University of Florida. Would anybody else like to share? Otherwise, we're going to do the
I
count.
might be able to share screen.
Did you find it, Upton?
That finally came up.
Okay, go ahead.
Is it this? The heck? I just opened it.
But you got to click screen share first.
I know. I'm touching screen share and it's not popping up. This. What's happening?
Don't know.
It's not working.
Okay, well, guys, again, get your work done today. Make sure you have those 3 pieces ready for me so I can forward them to your 4th grade teachers.
Next time I can.
You may talk.
Bye.
Do a countdown.
What do you mean we can't? Oh my god, this is so weird. Who let the dog go? Oh. Did you guys see me like swirling around?
What?
That was so weird.
What's on your skin? It looks weird.
What do you mean?
My background.
Oh, you want to see a pretty cool background?
Your teeth look weird with the back
I'm at the
Do you
beach.
have wax?
Look.
Me when I was little.
Leah, do you have the wax?
Floating in the air. Cool.
This is me and my sister.
Leah,
Look at my shirt.